All right, so coming in at number 99, we have Dolphins cornerback Xavien Howard. In the last video, for Tyler Lockett, I said that he was one of the most underrated and underappreciated guys in the league. I probably should have saved it for this video, honestly, because you think about Xavien Howard, I feel like most casual NFL fans are scratching their heads saying, like, who? Because the man hasn't played in very many primetime games, being stuck in Miami. He hasn't had any playoff experience, really. And, of course, he's not getting points on your fantasy team. So a lot of people, they probably don't know who Xavien is. But rest assured, when you put the film on, as long as this guy's healthy, he is undoubtedly an elite cornerback in the NFL. So what we're going to do here today is kind of go over his skill set, watch some film, watch a couple plays that highlight what I think he does really well and make him really special and put him in the top 100. All right, so first off, we have his fluidity. When you think of fluid athletes, I feel like a lot of people confuse just straight speed and fluidity. Especially at the cornerback position, you could run a 4.2, 4.3, but if you're stiff, you're going to get beat deep, and especially here you have Xavien Howard lined up in the slot going up against Marquise Brown, one of the NFL's fastest, who, he claims if he ran at the combine last year when he came out, he might have beat John Ross's 4.22 record. So here we have Xavien Howard, a 4.44, 40-yard dash guy going up against him, but what you're going to see is he's able to stay step for step. So watch here how he's able to just immediately read and react to the route. He quickly just flips his hips with no problem and just takes off into a pure sprint and really doesn't waste any time getting downfield and staying in Marquise Brown's hip pocket. There's nothing that Marquise Brown can do once they're off to get any separation besides just have that speed. But with the fluidity Xavien Howard has, he's able to make use of that little buffer off the line of scrimmage. He's able to make use of that. And just look at how he just turns and runs. A little bump there downfield, but it's no big deal. And then he almost even makes an interception on top of that. It's just this fluidity that allows him to keep up with the smaller, fast guys, as well as his size that lets him play against really the tall 6'3", 6'4", number one wide receivers. It's just the perfect balance that really helps solidify his spot on this list. Next up, fluidity, it only gets you so far. It's also kind of the mind part of it. It's the reactionary quickness. So I want you to watch Howard here. This is from last year. He's lined up on A.J. Green. Obviously, we know A.J. is one of the best receivers in the league. But watch how on this little kind of slant route, what Xavien Howard is able to do in terms of, again, just reading and reacting. And, he basically runs the route for A.J. Green. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. As soon as he realizes that A.J. Green is planting on that outside foot, cutting inside, he takes off and he gets, again, right in his hip pocket. This time he's able to come over the top, make a play with the ball on his right hand. But let me see if I can get this for you guys. As soon as he realizes A.J. Green plants right there, he sees quarterbacks looking his way. I'm going to undercut this ball. And look at him just get right in A.J.'s hip pocket, go make a play. Obviously, he's not able to make the pick, but it's better than a first down. And it's plays like these that he's making on a consistent basis where guys who probably should be separating from him are not getting any separation because he's able to just quickly transition his feet, flip his hips, and go. Speaking of flipping his hips and going, I guess one thing that we'll talk about is his recovery speed. Sometimes he will get beat off the ball a little bit, but on the back end, he does still have that 4.44 speed that allows him to recover. This is him in his last game before going out with injury this past season. So he's not 100% healthy. His knee's clearly messed up. And what you'll see is Juju gains a step on him right there. Like Juju has about a step. But watch once this ball's in the air, the ground that Howard's able to make up. And, of course, it's kind of an underthrown ball. It's Mason Rudolph. What would you expect? But just look at how he's able to, at that last second, once he senses Juju kind of turn and look at the ball, he's able to just make up those last couple steps, again, get right in that hip pocket, and make a play on the ball. Obviously, he doesn't come away with the pick, but when we're talking 50-yard reception, that's about as good as it gets. No flag, no contact, no nothing except another down to play. And really, I guess coming off of that, put all of it together, and what you have is one of the NFL's best man coverage corners. Here he is again from 2018, coming in the red zone across the back of the end zone. Now, we talked about that reactionary quickness. We talked about his recovery speed. Well, here he doesn't even need to recover because he basically runs the route for the receiver, just like he did A.J. Green. Now, watch how, again, once the receiver plants that outside foot, makes the cut inside, how he's able to just jump the route and really run it for the receiver. And make an incredible catch in the back of the end zone. We'll talk about his ball skills later, but my man is like a wide receiver playing the cornerback position. I'll try and get a good pause on this one, but like, look at the position that he's in right there. Like, it's just that quick little recovery speed and just his ability to mirror and match these wide receivers down the field, and whatever they're doing, he's doing. And on a lot of plays, he's doing it almost quicker than they are. Of course, that'll get you beat on a double move every now and then. But, man, like a play like this, and in the back of the end zone too, to be able to get both feet down, flip the field for your team, that's fantastic stuff by Xavien Howard. But don't think that he's just a man cornerback. There weren't very many plays of him in zone covered, but he can do it too. You look at him here, he's going to be playing what I believe to be just a base cover 2. He's got the flat, and as you'll see, he kind of goes with his receiver, goes with Kelvin Benjamin until he realizes that nobody's entering his zone underneath, so he's able to kind of sink under Benjamin and undercut the route and get an easy interception again. You'll see here what I'm talking about. He just reads the quarterback's eyes and just runs the route. It's great stuff. And, of course, Buffalo probably should have had somebody going to that flat to keep him up and off of Benjamin. And, of course, Josh Allen probably never should have thrown this ball. But, he did. And I can't penalize Xavien Howard for that, because it's really his awareness and realizing that, okay, that running back just cut that way. I'm gonna undercut this route, and I'm going to make a play on it. And it's these kind of plays that you don't see cornerbacks making very often, but Xavien Howard's made 8 of them in the past 2 years when only playing 17 games. That's basically a season. He's getting more interceptions than in 2 years, basically a full season, than most corners are getting in a decade. That's ridiculous to me, and kind of on top of that, we'll talk about is his range. Coming from zone coverage, one of the most important things is range when you're playing those deep zones. And, usually I don't talk about range with cornerbacks. I typically would say I would leave this for like a free safety, but this play just had me in awe, because look at where he is when this ball is thrown by Derek Carr, obviously in triple coverage on this streak. It's a terribly, terribly thrown ball, but watch where he is when he really takes off and puts on the jets here. And you'll be able to see it better from the last view. But my man starts on the opposite hash and basically is able to go all the way to the other side of the field's numbers and make an easy interception on the ball. Let me see if I can pause this for you and just watch him put on the jets when everybody else is slowing down and quitting on the play. Now, obviously, there's kind of the confidence that goes into that, but it's really just the effort at the end of the day. Well, let's see if I can get this here. He is on the opposite hash. He's on the defense's left hash. Now, I want you to just watch him put on the jets and catch this ball over here by the numbers. It's fantastic stuff. I mean, my man looks like Ed Reed out there tracking that ball downfield. It's crazy. And, of course, these aren't kind of plays that happen on a regular basis, but they're plays that do happen. And when you're in either that cover 3 deep zone or that cover 2 deep zone, or even just as we saw in that Juju play, just manned up going deep one-on-one, really this range is kind of invaluable. And speaking of invaluable, I mean, it's the ball skills. Obviously, you don't get 8 picks in the last 2 years if you don't have crazy hands. I said he's like a wide receiver playing cornerback. And, a lot of people like to give that designation to like a Marcus Peters. Well, I think Xavien Howard might be the next best thing. Watch him on TY here. This is kind of a perfect encapsulation of everything that we've seen. You see his ability to just mirror and match T.Y. Hilton. No matter what T.Y. does, he's watching the hips. He's not buying any of these little head fakes, any of these little juice. He is sticking to him like glue. And you'll see that here on this route again. The fluidity in opening up his hips, and then his ability to just turn and run with them and stay in his hip pocket and go up and make, as you see here on the left, a great, really contested catch. That's like a wide receiver high pointing the ball in the end zone, and he's doing it here on TY. Obviously, I know TY is not the biggest dude, but man, just a great read, a great reaction, and a great job finishing the play. It's not every day that you're going to go up and make plays like that at the cornerback position. We like to say that defenders, they're on defense for a reason. They don't have hands. Well, Xavien Howard does, and then that's one of the reasons that he's on this list. And just kind of reinforce that point, I have another one of him at the end of the game. Josh Allen just throwing up a Hail Mary, and just watch his athleticism getting up for this pass and his ball skills to bring it down. It's just great stuff. And, you know, in 2018, he allowed on 57 targets, 29 receptions, which is 50% rate basically, because his ability to knock balls down and make interceptions. And let me go back to that. Let me see if I can get you guys a better view of just him. I know there's the picture on the right, but let's see if we can pause that. I mean, look at him. We have 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" corners. We have free and strong safeties who do this on a regular basis, but nope, it's Xavien's ball. And to be honest, all of that put together, that's why he's number 99 on the list. So if you guys enjoyed this video, if you are a Dolphins fan and think he should be higher, if you are not an Xavien fan and think he should be off the list, make sure you guys leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you want to kind of keep track of this series and see where we go next, because next up, obviously, number 98. See you guys next video.